and not able to. Let's go. Yeah, the music's not really fitting for the setting. But you know what? And let's see what actually happens. Thank you all for watching. Let's keep doing this. I do have to bring up it's a small thing. You have to have this map open so I can take a look at it. Because I couldn't really do the curve. Gonna be some getting. Couldn't exactly do this with the curve. Everything is to the proper height. Technically, it's to a 40-foot ceiling, but this is currently running to 40 feet. Stack this all up over here. Edge will sort of step up so they can. Time going to build all this stuff. Now there's also a way to sort of stick these things so let's just down. Just make it work from here. As useful. Nature. Scaling. In the place where all poops go. Some mushroom. Good cavern detail. Myself a little palette here. That can drop. Fishies aren't going to be helpful. Some roots. Come back to that later. In the meantime, I don't really need that library open. In the meantime, the library open. So let's look here. Mostly this wall needs to just continue up till it gets up here where it begins to curve in specific ways. So going back down here so that we can still use it. And try to find the right angles. And which is nice. Creates a corner that we're going to fill up later. Just overlap things there to create sort of an interesting shape. Fortunately, there's a lot of repeating pattern when it comes to these. now it doesn't make things. Let's create some variation in texture, which is anyways played a little bit of Minecraft. You don't want things to become too samey. That's also what we're gonna use these rocks for, much like I did over here, to a greater degree amongst everything. Just kind of like sliding them into the walls to help sameness. It can stay there. It's up in here. It's not what I was hoping. Drop it there, I guess. Just continuing everything. Sad. Stick that out there. How many does it go? It's 1, 2, 3, 6 squares. I have 1, 2. This will be 6. It's a little shelf, so not that. Unfortunately, a lot of what to work with just doesn't really play entirely well. Everything. And stick that there. I think if we grab this, rotate it this way. Stick it here. Help sort of break everything. Six. Here. Some magic. So there's only so much I can really do with it. Out. That. It covers up square. Square, and then this one. So yeah, that's about what it looks like. On that later. Down, that's important. It's into get do. I know it doesn't look so great so far. I can come back in later and do a lot. It does kind of flow pretty nicely. Kind of wish I could do more with these stairs. Probably create an effect without actual stairs. It's kind of layering up a wall in a way that they could walk up here. Because they're pretty fast and free when it comes to these things. We over here. He's not there, but here. Fix that, right? Maybe not. Check him up here though. Now I could drag him, but I want to see what their stepping allows. So if I could layer these in a specific way, something similar, create a climbable staircase over there. It just helps to have a mini I can fuss around with. Things out. Always nice. Always nice. Just filling it. Also helps to create gaps where they can't see outside the map. Here. Getting close to just being able to do stuff here. Samey. That's what's nice with working with these as opposed to the build board, is just how different you can make it. It definitely helps to be able to do those things. This again, drop it. And you can see where these things are already sort of combinations of them, but having another really kind of does it justice. So we'll fit some stuff in behind those to help hide it. As you can see, there are some wall gaps. Or even not. Maybe that'll be where we'll work with some of these. To show example of what I'm talking about here, this is fitting some stuff together with tiles, using another tile set on top of there. So there's two tiles layered on one another here and just kind of shifted into one another, and it creates this nice sort of like rocky breakup. Because I can rotate these all I want, but they're not going to do all that much to break up the sameness. You know, same texture over and over. This is the one I used right here. And it can kind of create just everything you're looking for. Unfortunately, when it comes to these skeletons, there aren't too many of them. He's floaty. He's gonna stay floaty. And then yeah, just coming back and adding some rocks melded into the walls to create differentness. Having these semi-visible little crevices is kind of nice for the realism of a cave, I feel. Because there might just be a little cropping that you can sort of see into that you can't actually go into. Mostly trying to lay things down and out. You can do that. Yes. See it. This wall. Slide it in. So that it put some space underneath it, but we just need to get some flooring down here. Flooring under that. So let's pull this back up. It's cavern floors. Way too weird. I think this is mostly dirt. Something I can work. Stack these up so high, and I didn't really think about that. Did not think about stacking them. Well, that's gonna be fun. So funny. Oh, of course. Horribly disjointed. How that's gonna look. It's gonna be tough. That is a problem for another day. This room is just like to be slain. So I'm with you. So now we're on this floor. Stick this back in. Yeah. Good stuff. They build back up in this area. Oh man. Let's go. It's to there. It's fine. Three main spell components for this venture. These ones. Just walk its direction. Go down. And shift mode. This one and oh. Of course, it still creates the see-through areas, but it's enough of a job. To create a pretty big area. Don't know that that's actually big enough. From here. 6, 7, 2, 6, 7, 8. It goes to just about. Only doing big sweepy motions. Some of the other stuff later. Good. Now these are going to need some This one's the real MVP. Everything else. Full dimension. Did it? Is that the others don't? Stay there. I always forget that. Just always. Cool. I'm mostly following the things here, but at the same time, just sort of free flowing. Kind of creating a. Oh no. No, you need to be on top of this. Air. It's less weird. These rock walls are also samey. How different are rocks? How different are rocks? These things are also going to have some amount of height to them. Pyromancer's Cave. Locations. Some valley sites is where you can spot it. It's rock. Really just they don't make it the easiest to sort these out. It doesn't mention. Oh, we'll jump down to L6. "40 feet wide, 60 feet long. Purple tapestries hang on the wall. Still fashioned of severed arms. Nice. Arranged to clutch one another in a cone, cradled in the uppermost. Dark sigil. Slit foot. It doesn't say how tall it is in here. It just says that it's a biggish room. Magic missiles. Because of course. Things opened up. I think it's still tall. Just sconces. Door is uneven. Ceiling is 40 feet up. It never mentions that coming back down, but I'll assume it does. Just for my sake, I will assume it changes that back down. Going in. And more just flopping down the same two things. That's what this game gives you to work with. Two things. You know what? Work with what you got, right? I could just not have this tool of immense pleasure to make these fantastic indie maps that I could play online. This one. Listen. Here, and then we'll just kind of mix it up a little. Fitting these into this area. Spot here. This location. Help create crags. Crags. There are two spaces here where they can sort of go around. I feel like these spaces should be much larger because it's going to be tight. It's supposed to be tight. Never mind. It's going to essentially just be this in its own way. Can't really do much there because then the players can't get by. Yeah, so it needs to be wider for their sake. I don't know. What do I know? Come with me. Do this though. Yep. Narrow passage there. Out later. Just create feelings of claustrophobia. What we want. Not really any moments up here. Again, sort of. Zam? It's fine. I'll do it, and then I'll bring this out more. Create sort of that space again where they're narrow, tight-fitting caverns, and who knows what's going on. This down. Buddies here. Stuff. Turn you into shifty mode. Some extra texture. Add some flavor. Cool Ranch. Here. Should do it. Grab our friend. Position. No, no. I mean, yes, but no. That one though. Yes, creating what feels like a maze. The other things will be a little more handy. So a building tip I would give you is if you are building in TALESPIRE, definitely consider using more items and rocks to build out your walls. Because whereas this is great, it has to fit on the grid. The rocks can slide in between panels in a way that these cannot. That is important. It's very important. So we're off a little bit on this, but it's going to create, I think it'll create a bit of a mystique. You know, if you could only have line of sight going through this, I could imagine that'd be pretty cool. Oh snap, what are we gonna do? You know what? That plays back into this little area too, where it's a straight shot. Zam, you're out. When you get to here, you can't see that, so you don't know what's going on. You don't know if you need to go any of these directions. What could be there? A mimic, maybe? You know, they probably went up this. This is a very cool thing. Add some textures to it. Height up, make it look a little bit better. You work with this space a little bit more too. Yeah, between here and here, creating these things that'll will play back when they get to here, and just like, oh no, we're in a real maze. What's happening? Or maybe not, but that's my thought. Drop you here. Place it down. Shift up its direction. Shift it into this one. Hit corner boy. Those are nice. And this. There. Tight hallways and corridors. Best friend. Ultimately, no matter which way they go around this, they same place. Here, and they're like, oh, do we go this way or do we go that way? Kind of see something this way. So we got 40 feet by 60 feet. It's huge. Go up. Here. Big O boss arena. I think that's bigger than it's supposed to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it's 20 feet bigger than it's supposed to be. It's definitely wider this way. Airs, man. Yeah. So it's 80 feet by 80 feet. Nice big O square room that we're gonna round out. I don't really have the capability to do the severed arm cone thing, as dope as that is. But that's a limitation in TALESPIRE. It's what I have to deal with to, again, use this magnificent, wonderful thing that's been bestowed upon us by Bouncy Rock. And thank them. Thank them so much for bestowing this great gift upon us. As much as there are more things I would like from it, I don't play that much. I mean, what was I doing before this? The Roll20 maps look great. And the art done by the fantastic artists at Wizards. Those are beautiful looking maps. It's just, into this. I've never played Wait, no, I played once with minis. With minis. But we didn't actually have minis, so we had to use... I was actually using the Magic the Gathering board game that I had purchased, was the Planeswalker or Path of Planeswalker one. I forget what it's called. That was fun times. We were actually playing... So we were playing Palladium, a cannibalized version of Palladium with a lot of custom rules. So when it came to learning Magic, you could get spell points that you could learn to spend on the Magic things. Completely homebrewed version of it. I got a little lucky with character creation and the way that I put things out, that choosing to be a Sun Elf gave me extra Magic stuff. Why does it not let me put it here? Is it falling through again? Being weird. Okay, well, whatever. Same for you. But it gave me a lot of Magic points and everything else. So I was joking with him. They have a spell called Energy Bolt, which is the Magic Missile. It doesn't miss, and it deals pretty low damage. But with his system, you could overlearn a spell. So with all my points, I was like, oh man, I can really learn this spell. So overlearning it reduced its mana cost. It started out at, I think, 4, and every time you took it, halved it until it cost 1, and then it would double the potency. So Energy Bolt went from Palladium Energy Bolt. Okay. Energy. Spell it right. Put bolt. That might be. 4 instances of it. Yeah, but nevertheless, so I went from like the 5 or whatever to only costing 1, and dealing a ridiculous amount of damage for that 1. Like, it wasn't even right, the amount of damage I could deal on that. In fact, I got into a situation where I just walked first because I was making jokes the whole time, like, oh yeah, let the squishy one go first. That's brilliant. When we had people in chainmail and plate armor. Like, yeah, let me go. One time I walked into a room and just noped out because, like, skeletons. I hear bones rattling. I'm not going first now. Nope, 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 nope. But I did the same thing again because they were just kind of like doping around. Just like, okay, well, I'm gonna go first then. And made my way. What I found was some goblins, and they surprised me. So I'm just like, yeah, I squeal and I hit him with an energy bolt. I don't know, I spent a 3 on it. Ended up dealing like 24 d6 damage. And rolled really high on my damages too. He was like, yeah, the goblin just turns into a nuclear shadow on the wall. He spooked me, and I'm the skishy one. I couldn't help it. Stick this. Helping to create the texture as walls. Create a little hidey zone here. I like doing this. So blasted the goblin. We got into another situation, another kerfuffle with some more goblins in the cave. I think we were playing a beginner Mystara thing, just kind of converted. So we were hunting a man by the name of Bargle, who was being a jerk. Yeah. ultimately, we didn't finish that due to reasons. For some reason, we stopped meeting with that group and ended up. We didn't make it too much farther. But in this kerfuffle with some goblins, I ended up casting telekinesis and lifting one into the air. He went to attack us with a sword that he was going to throw down, and just like cast increased weight on it. And then it crit failed, as you do in some situations. And then the DM decided that his own weapon cuts him in half. That was a thing. That's why you gotta be careful when and where you crit fail. Fortunately, it was just an NPC. Let's see, what else was there? There was the witch, who was kind of like a warlock in that world. Had a cursed sword. Or no. He had a magic sword, but we had like really bad luck, which is a stat this iteration of the game. It's not just, oh, you suck at rolling. Like, no, this is literally something written on your character sheet. It's how lucky your character is, and we both had like, it gives you destiny points, but ours was so bad we had curse points. Believe me, it was still fun. But he wound up using a curse point to not lose it to a magic trap, where we mistakenly misanswered a riddle because we heard it slightly wrong. It was our bad. There was another player that was joining us for that session. He knew the right answer. It's just because we misheard it, he gave the wrong answer. So what would have doubled our items ended up eating our items instead. But because he decided to spend the curse point, he got a curse sword back. He began talking to him, and in order to fight that, he wound up sticking it in the wall, which then Bargold teleports out of nowhere and takes it. Mine. Yeet. Okay. This mostly lays out the cave. That's cool. Done. Now it's going back and doing detailing. Stick anything in this area? No, I can't. There's no way I can really stick anything here to create a tighter feeling. So it just kind of like opens up and... this here is supposed to have... this up here too. It's 3 flat shelfy things. Don't know how much I can drop these into the ground. Oh. Stop. Build bug? Yeah. Okay, it's being weird again. I can... Cool. Awesome. Stick that one there. Maybe I should have used this one. I should use a smaller version of it. You can literally just, that's a scaled version. Scaled version, which is way more accurate to size. All it does is describe them as rock shelves, and they are this far apart. Unfortunately, I can't bury these up too much more. Maybe I'll put one of those back over here. I need to somehow color that one red for blood. And there are baskets at the end of these. Baskets in any of these? Trim, ladders, camping. Painters. This. Broken barrels. Never mind. Excuse me. Are any of you... Oh, maybe the cauldron. Here are you. Pretty big. Crafting. Not fences, obviously. Interior. Do not. I wonder if these will work for tapestries. Yeah, that was a very fun game to play in. What else did we do? So, yeah, it wasn't too long after that I wound up putting together a group to play 5e again with some friends and some noobs. And I ended up connecting with an old friend who ended up passing shortly after. That was very unfortunate, but at least I got to see him again before that happened. However, you're playing this adventure, and then after that, meeting with some friends that I hadn't seen in a while in order to... Sorry, still looking for some holes. That'll work. For the funeral, we then decided, like, hey, let's do a one-shot in Heroes Unlimited, because he did a thing for a while where he sort of did a I think that's a barrel. He created a setting where we played in a setting that was the Sky High movie, and I was like, I'll run it so that our usual DM didn't have to. Just do a quick little one-shot for a night. Play it in his honor. Send off. And that was cool. Sort of combined it with the, what's the names? With the... Quick audible save me. What was the name of that? Was the name of that series? Sign in. Sign in. Just, I can't let it go without. I've not been paying attention to this. I'm still connected to Q's library, and he's been putting stuff in here. There is some stuff that I should definitely listen to. Let me scroll back and see if I can find these. So, wasn't Super Sales and Superheroes. I mean, the decent book, but it gets a little weird. Say a little weird. It's your typical lit RPG. 4 series, that's for sure. My goodness, all these things that I have in here. There's just so many things I should listen to again. Superpowered by Drew Hayes. Drew Hayes, decent writer. Not as flaws, but good writer. The Superpowered series. Combine Sky High with that. I made them seniors, and instead of being in college, but went through sort of the same thing. They had a lot of training scenarios to replace the Save the Citizen game, and they were playing against like other schools, so I came up with a couple of other schools. Some real quick stuff, just handed them some pre-gen characters. Here's some level 4 characters, something we don't usually see in these games. Play this. And then just had a fun little romp. Practice this over here. here. Can't build area. I'm just kind of getting experimental now with trying to set this stuff up. It's very important. That's not too bad. It's got its obvious breaks, but it could be worse. Yeah. Things in here. Fun characters. A lot going on. A lot going forward, too. So much built in, and one player had actually not seen the series, which was interesting. It made things a little more lively for him. So I'm like, oh yeah, they look kind of like Bruce Campbell, or this looks kind of like Linda Carter. He's like, really? He's like, yeah, they're in the movie. Need to fill this in so I can just sort of like go over here and it's on. So that it fits in. You can use, so I have mine rebound from the other side because it interacts a lot with other things. I changed them from left control to right control. You hit control, or you hold control, and then you can shift up half a plane at a time, which allows you to do quite a bit. Stuff that in there. I don't know what it's going to look like from a player side. Honestly, I should look up some videos of players' vision, see what that looks like. Yeah, just creative use of power. So some of the ones that are a little stronger in that series. So Heroes Unlimited, same game designer and everything. Sorry, working with this is kind of a pain. And drop this down anywhere. But it's superhero stuff. Lots of fun. There's some powers like vibration, which sound kind of funky, but when you actually like read what it does, it's like that is super powerful. It's like ridiculous powerful. And then there was one with gem power. And it was just like, oh yeah, we'll have them fight in like mall. That's where they're doing this. It's like the opposition are terrorists or whatnot. They have to take each other out and save this pretend citizen. So they ended up doing pretty well with all that. Oh, I'll just give these two. Pick it up. You know, they get to play against Panty and Stocking. That sounds good. They get to play against them. And I don't know, natural fighting power, and just making stuff up as I go along. That's an interesting system. So like there's armor involved, of course, when you can wear body armor. But then when it comes down to everything else, like, so if you're in a situation where there's not armor, opposition has the chance to parry or dodge attacks. Listen here. Very nice. It's all to stack up and look decent. But if they choose to not take those options, which kind of take away from it, you have a certain limited number of attacks you can make per melee round. And a melee is like is a rounding in combat. So in D&D terms, it's 6 seconds per action, and then it just goes the round. Instead, this works on there's 15 actions that determine the round. Take your number of actions until it's out in initiative order. So if you have 3 and your opponent has 4 and another person has 2, then you all go for the first one, you all go for the second one, and then the third one. The only people with the remaining actions can go. You can spend your action to dodge an attack, or you can parry an attack without spending your action, but it gets more complicated. It's not terrible. But should they choose not to take any of those options, they don't try to defend themselves in any way. D20 strike plus bonuses, which are often pretty high, you only have to get above a 4 hit. I never knew that until researching for DMing that game, because most of the times I was just a player. And of course, we always took options. Good system, good stuff. It's also treasure all in Detroit. Detroit. So I have to fill in stuff here. There. I don't think I did all these just right. Okay. A little better. Gosh, I still have to fill in all this stuff over here. Okay. Might be time to recruit some friends. Come on, Rock. Over and check out this. Prowl atop the trigger. Trigger by Zircon. This is good. This is really good D&D music. So anyways, you can check these out by visiting the link here in chat. I know it's kind of spammy because it does it with every new song, but at least you get to see what songs they are. And Pretzel Rocks has a DMCA free setting, so every song here will not cause you to get demonetized, and none of them are terrible. They're all pretty good, and it's a huge variety. I recommend checking it out. You can get a plugin installer for Streamlabs OBS if you're using that, or you can play it through the website itself. Number 2. Here. No. There. stick it there. Ah, there's still holes. It looks fine from here, but bad from here. Alright. Stay there. Down a little. Turn you a bit. One as ever, aren't they? This is very Final Fantasy, Renmison. That's what I'm searching for. It's very Final Fantasy. It's not like don't be afraid or to fight further, but it's pretty decent for it. But if it ended in 10, I can't remember 10's music all that well. That was 20 years ago. Should play 10 again. Maybe. I don't know if I have the time to commit to that. Yikes, man. The thought. I do have a... Maybe I should. Shoutouts to anyone willing to listen to me. Like, fun fact. Okay. This does help also break up texture a little bit. No, I can't talk with the grid off. The grid is like distracting. Oh. Okay. It's so hard to see. It's so hard to see. Excuse me, what are you doing over here? You're the same thing, but a different color. Alright, let's bring it up to... Yeah. Small. Stick this in here. Hopefully it does not hinder them from stepping up all this. That's probably my main concern, is that they won't be able to step on some of these tiles. Yeah. Pull out of build mode and drag. Spank. You can do things. You can do just fine. Wow, that is a gap, but it lets him jump over it anyway. Cool. That's what I wanted to make sure of. Of course, it here kind of fades away the roof because he's underneath things. Oh no. Okay. They kind of fit through there. Maybe I will take away this one. You. Bring you over here to fill in this wall. Such a way that can still get through there. Yeah, they can kind of climb up this. Haha! Oh. Oh no! Eh! Come on. Alright. See you, losers! Oh, we can jump up that. Okay. That away so it's in. Two. A lot of this. Okay, just trying to make sure of what all is filled up. Don't want it to think too big. These are rocky exteriors. Goodness. There. And it's over here now. That seems fine. Detailing, folks, it's very important. Can I pull holes? Fill all the gaps. This looks like an atrocious mess, but trust me, it'll be good in the end. It's not visible from that side. This is all visible though. So this is worth filling in. How many holes? These all seem fine. For the moment. Except for this one spot here. Goody. It's a horrible mess from the outside, but on the inside, ain't half bad. These things and they look pretty nice. They look real nice. Layer enough of it together, nobody's gonna notice anyway. Let's grab the big boy. No? Yeah, let's turn it the other way. Big rock, the gap filler. Hair. Looking decent. We just need to have to handle all that and all of this over here. Okay. Stacking up walls is a bit of a nightmare. I do have to say that. Stick that in there. Do this here. No? Ah. It does create this situation here. We handle. I wonder if it wouldn't be better to just create like a rock stair. This is fine though. This is so open room, which sucks because there's like how many? Buttload? Yeah, 4. 4 skeletons with short bows down this way. Shooting gallery is what this is. Thanks, X. Just blowing people up with that rhino. So then. Put nothing down there. Just leave these walls the way they are. Okay. So put this here. Rock wall fillers. Gaps? What gaps? Rocks. You can't even tell that they're all facing the same way. Mwahaha. Sure, we're not intruding too much over here. Stuff. I mean, it doesn't even look like it's a bad clip or anything either. Or at least to mine eyes, it does not look like a bad clip. Not always. Some instances do not work, that is true. See this here? Works. Me? Yes, stay where you are. Come back over here. We're gonna get your friend Dark Rocky here. Dark Rocky's gonna go fill this in. Plane. There. Some of these other gaps too. Yeah. I really wish I could see this from a player perspective. Am I gonna be seeing all this, or am I gonna have to like cover that up? It's gonna look atrocious. See holes. Holes no mo. Ballroom. Ballroom. Huh? Stuff a rock in that corner, that's fine. That'll be perfectly fine. Weird. Get it up here. There. There. Oh, slide down that then. I think I can tell you, wall. Want to do it, don't. I mean, we have some gappy gaps to fill in. But the problem could honestly be worse. It's just that there's so much here to do. Gonna have to do it and accept it. It's gonna look a certain way. I don't have my friends anymore. They're all over the place. I just have to pick them. You. Hello. And I don't mind them looking like this either. Keep saying. That one. That is worse. I want it to be a certain way, please. Rotate. You apparently cannot do what I want. Back here. Here's where we're just gonna let it fall down to this normal height. This out here is gotta be all. Don't worry, the Bondo later with some rocks. Yeah, coming together. So, if anybody's played in TALESPIRE, or like this look like for some legitimate questions, concerns even. Is there like that? Let's continue to need to be taller. Yes. Height. Height for me. I'm not really gonna be seeing this stuff up here like this, so it's not as bad to be A little loose and fancy free with it. Oh well, it just needs to be tall. It needs to be tall because it is a big grand room of OMG, there's skeletons at the other end. Please don't kill us. I have TPK'd 2 groups in this room. Did not go well for them. Where's Makona? You come here. There. This here. Beep a little on the inside. Right? It's all in the name of dungeons that must be true. This wall texture, it's just all over the place. Just all over the place. I have to do something about this grass too. And the lance rock needs to be bigger. Sense. Yep, come on. Going for a ride now. Big room is big. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. It's there. Some more of that over here. It's on the right plane. We have like character stuff. There was the once where also playing Heroes again. Our favorite game. Did a lot. The character that I guess was in training to be a hero, was training himself up to be a hero of sorts. Wound up getting the wrong side of, I think, the Mafia. Play so many games. Just gonna like fit these in. And got a car flipped on him. I think this is after he got out of the hospital previously too. And this is when I had a DM who's a megalomaniacal jerk into it. But ultimately had fun, but really put up with a lot of things. You. It's helped me be who I am. It's helped me be more assertive today. Less walked on. But like I say, by somebody who can multiply themselves, gets me out from under the car, end up in the hospital, we get in this whole exchange about like, I'm on morphine, or I can't really like do anything. Until I'd never been on morphine once in my life. I have no idea how any of it goes. Drugs, I don't do that. So we get into this thing and trying to get out of there, and then Hitman shows up to kill E, take care of all that, sue the hospital, get rich. Get yelled at by the doctor because he's just like, what is wrong with you? Why are you here again? What happened? He wasn't a very good doctor. Or I guess he was an okay doctor, he just mistreated me. Okay, move that cascade back down. So that's up. So I'll just fill some with rocks. I'm gonna do this again over here. This room is friendly to 2D maps. It is not friendly to 3D maps. Over here. Shift over here slightly. I basically just need to grab everything as it exists, drop it down, shift it up one tile. That's what I need to do. No. No. Oh, hey, I can just Control Z it back into place. Cool. It's fun. Honestly, I need to do this a couple times, but I don't know how that's going to work out with how things are. This would be the most boring wall in existence. Don't worry, Wall. It's okay. I said it's okay. Game didn't really go anywhere either. There was a time we were playing, I want to say Aberrant, and I managed to take stop as a power, and he's like, oh, you can only do it for like short distances or short of time. It's like, that's fine. It was absolutely fine. I don't think anything will top the time we were playing. It was Aberrant? I think it was Blood of Heroes. It was just a one-shot thing for me that was a part of a longer campaign for some friends. Where I was looking everything over, it's like, yo, I kind of want to take magic as the power. You're not gonna be able to do that. You won't be good at anything. To spend all your points in it. Like, what if I just am mediocre at everything except magic? I'm really bad at everything, but I'm really good at magic. Fine. He was vetting me on using magic, being like super weak at it or something, or feeling like I couldn't do anything because I had to put all of my. So... that is not here. There we go. But anyways, yeah, that was interesting. Wound up fighting some terrorists at Disneyland, and Dr. Fate shows up because it was in a DC setting. Figured just, I'll endear us to him. He's going to cast a spell. I help. So what he thought was going to be stopping time for 10 minutes wound up being him stopping time for 10 days. 10 hours. He was a little surprised when his spell didn't end. I'm helping. I didn't even know what he was going to do. He can trust us. Big. protecting some people, and so we had to. I don't know how to get this one in place. I think here. Most likely lower. Trying to protect some people from something, and so we wound up like, okay, move out of your house, and I'm just gonna cast this major illusion that is going to take over everything. This room is huge. So big. So then, like, I think for 4 days casting an illusion on this house. Trying to trick some assassin. These people were still home. Look, they're here. I swear, come and get them. No magic to worry about. None whatsoever. Still fine. They're just the things I remember. Old D&D being weird as it possibly can at all points in time. I think I've drank 2. Sick. But the show must go on. Oh, nope, stay there. Yes. This is working out pretty well. Better than I was expecting, really. I mean, it looks poorly repeated. But the situation could be a lot worse. Not too hard to get these into place and drop them down. Just kind of continue the wall up, fix it in post. Especially because, I mean, there's not really anything you can do to make it look too much. Slight variations on the wall depth, a little bit better, but I'm going to have to go back and fill in so many gaps here that who knows. Who truly knows? It's playing. It's playing. Goody. Volume. So big fault line. The more it goes up like that, the worse it starts to look. To be absolutely terrible. Come on, get on top. There we go. There we go. Fortunately, some of these are just easy. Easy peasy. Ah. Biome. Stack you. Gracious, it's such a tall, so ridiculously big. They must not have thought about it. It's just so huge. here. Skeletons chilling out back here, just not an issue. Just believe me, they are. They take a dash action and they get to like here, and they just start pelting you with arrows. They are problematic at their best. When they're doing their behavior, they're top of this, good. Bit, yes. This one. Only a couple more. Oh, this torturous, arduous journey is almost over. I mean, I still have to place enemies and crap. And protection and just failing. This block placement section is, for the most part, done. Good, now I just need to go back and all. Ooh, buddy. Okay. Here. The passage opens into an enormous cavern, illuminated by several guttering torches and sconces on the wall. The floor is uneven, the ceiling is 40 feet up. Yeah, that's that problem. 3 flat boulders near passage serve as tables for human corpses. Severed body parts sit in the baskets by the corpses. Covered in dry gore, a figure in a dark hood stands by the 3rd table, its back to you. Matted hair juts from under the hood, and a figure holds a bone needle threaded with dark cord in its hand. Farther to the west, a stone stair climbs the north wall, ending near the ceiling. A stone slab counter juts from the wall across from the room. Base of the stairs, it holds saws, knives, and other tools. 4 skeletons stand behind this tool bench, guarding a wide passage that exits to the west. Yeah, you can see these dopes over here. Oh, and he's standing over there. And he just darts off. Yeet! He just goes. Fine. I think I need to come up with an Orioth voice. Some like Karen Kanzuki stuff. Okay. So tools and crap. Tools and junk. Have any tools? No. Crafting. You don't really have what I'm looking for though. I want like random nonsensey tools that I can lay on a thing. Paintings. Okay, so limitations of the platform. I don't really have what I'm looking for. So of course, bones. I mean, I want, yes, but oh, that's pleasant. Here's a chair. Doesn't exist in any of these. When it comes down to things, they only have spooky scaries. Chill out here, bud. Hope you don't mind. And then I guess I'll have to miscellaneous interiors. This will serve. Not just because it has to. Your tools, buddy. Get to stepping. It's the only thing I have. Stick some books over here. These are learned skeletons. Floating books. Yeah, floating books. Floaties. That's not any better. Alright, let's get rid of that. Bellows? Just the best I'm going to be able to. Kind of going to be the same thing over here, too. There's nothing I can really... Oh, there. Nothing I can really do. Face the right way, please. Thank you. Facing this way just because variation. Fill in some undescribed bones in these corners. This, and then this one. I mean, he's been busy. Very up to things. Limitations of the system and all. It could be worse. If anybody hassles me about that clipping, you know what I had to go through. Yeah. Let's take some rocks up here. Stay there. This will create the situation that we got up here. Itty bitty gappy go. They see through. Just an itty bitty gapper. Just do that. This should hopefully be enough to satisfy. Gap. Gap. Some. Because they cannot get through. Stick some more. Fill in that. I hate it. Gotta. Ooh. Angles. Properly. Seen from where? Yeah. Oh, now. At all. Okay. Boop, boop. Shift into this wall here real quick. Thank you. It can really just kind of stick out the back. Just doing stuff. The shift real quick. Just to do the getting it on the right point. It look decent. Chang. This is not what I signed it up for. Should goodness, if it looks as terrible as it seems to, I am so much. But honestly, you and I know. I don't really need that. Turn it. That fills it in. It'll end up being. Oh! Stay there. I think the one party that made it through this fine is when they had the barbarian, the circle moon druid, and the rogue. And they were kind of utilizing some tactics at the time, plus they were slightly higher level. This is really intended for first levels. And boy is it punishing for first levels. Got to slog through a bunch of zombies and stuff. It makes you wonder why they were like, yeah, first level. That's good, that tracks. Sure. The zombies are running really well with that undead fortitude. Be a bad day for some players. Oh, that won't happen. Trust me, it does. It's like, why won't this thing die? Well, technically it already did. It's just... it's undead. So it keeps undying. Honestly, this variation looks a lot better. Of just running straight up and down. I things I'm gonna have to do. It's over here. Some. Okay. Be worse. Let's rock out here. Alright, there's an itty bitty gap there that I really don't feel that bothered about. These still don't look all that great. Like, you kind of need to put something that goes in between tile sets. Awkward wall breaks here. Like, something has to be done about it. You. Down here. Start. Just kind of picking things up. It works. Just everything the way it peeks through sort of helps. The cavern floors and kind of sprinkle some rocks around all this place too. Mushrooms. Mushrooms help the feel. Tease about. Mushroom. There is some mushroom. Oh goodness. Wall. Probably too late, but you know. Does it help? Does it break immerse? Still can't tell. I think it helps because it kind of brings that variation in. It's a lot less like looking at this, where you can see it's all the same. Feel like it helps, whether or not. Just to be on this level. Oh, too much rock. Rock, your butt's sticking out too much. Yeah. Hey, rock. Rock, you dude's good. Kind of creates craggy face. Watching some of the same textures flowing up the wall in a repeating pattern, and it's different. Matters. Or a good rock. It's gonna go up. Benefit is that we can rotate these a lot more. it just doesn't look too much like a bad clip. Game of 4 here. Like, obviously I'm just clipping assets together. The worst. Very identifiable pattern, so we don't want to do that over. It's not too like it is. It's here, just kind of carrying this downwards, sort of eat up those portions where it's too similar like this. Just help hide that. Looks like it's a hewn wall of sorts, but somewhat natural. Gap over here. Should use these to greater effect. Because of the way the snap to things though, it doesn't really work. We're making it to the end of this little gazebo. Rewarded with mushroom. Does nothing. Stick you down. Anyone else ever heard that phrase? Kind of like a mushroom. All right, we'll clip these mushrooms together. Effect. In that way you can get sort of a denser mushroom pack, and just clipping is the way to go with this. Makes use of limited assets to create a much greater effect. But it is very much helping to extend capabilities presented. The ability to do this, it might be a little too limited what it can pull off. Hard to say. And there's also just kind of the unfortunate thing that it takes forever to put a map together. It takes for absolutely ever. You better have some time if you're using this for your party, or just have these gaps. Gap, where did you come from? Stick you around. Alright, it's gonna sit there like that, and it's gonna have to be fine. Better have time if you're putting this anything like this together for the party. Make all your maps ahead of time for your campaign as much as possible. I've heard of some people talking about their players putting together maps while they were doing some other stuff for them. I guess that depends on how much you want your players to be process. Stack up these tiles to create this. Slightly off. Stick it with some roots or something. Already be doing certain things like that. Being prepared for certain events. Oh. Sure. A green area we can't use or don't. Some of this. Get this effect of sameness. Okay, some of them cannot be used more than once. Yeah, don't really know where they're coming from. Or rock. Rock is love. Is life. Rock is answer to a problem. Rotating these things can get a little funky doodles. Is too much. Oh, nice. Alright, cheer. Yeah, for me. Like sticking more ridge up here. Okay. I mean, it is weird being such a like sheer cliff face, but that's rather unavoidable. I don't want to do anymore with this wall, but I have to. Terrible that is. Okay, Rocky. Do your magic. So much sameness. To be broken. I don't know about you, but I feel immediately better. Huge improvement. So we bring you over here again. Yeah, we can just let this rock take up this much wall. So much wall. Destroy these two identifiable things. Do any of them individually look bad? No. They, together, where there's so many of them. Space? Yes. All the yes. Want, don't need. Alright, we just need to get a little more of this over here. Where'd you go? Okay. Just destroy what makes it so identifiable. It's immediately samey. Sure, it's havoc on this end, but that. Alright, now we need flooring. Pick up cavern. Pick up this 2x2 section here, we'll drop it down. By 2. By 1. And Desert Village. Some of these just aren't gonna work. Leafy, grassy. Palisade, of course not. Rural. Nope. Sewers, no. We're gonna use this for the most part. So now that we have it on this level, we're just gonna shift it over. Stick it down. To really sort of help, again, so much dirt all over. I mean, it seems weird, but I don't know, it's kind of helping. You can still, you know, leave huge swathes and whatnot. But it's just really handy dandy to not have too much going on. I may even bring in the cobblestone pattern a little. I don't know. Stick these here. there's not as much to be done, right? Still, it's credence and assistance. For stuff like this, it's less noticeable that it's such a similar texture for the place. You don't want it. It's no good. Picks up too much when things are similar. Doing that. We've got a lot of tiles like in the same spot. That helps it look that much better. Alright. Cut it for those rooms. The ground isn't as visible, so it's not as much of a problem again. Grading on it a bit. Oh no! And just so often, right? Again, this is a big identifiable like dent in dirt. The ability to rotate this thing helps out a lot. Randomly pick them up and rotate them. Don't even need to think about it that hard. Seeing patterns going away, things starting to look a lot better. It's not that there can't be two right by each other that are the same. That can happen. A lot more variation like that, it becomes a little harder to pick it up. You can still see this big, huge area here, though. Just a little too identified. This one under the rocks there a bit. Angle. Pretty good. But here, just start turning indiscriminately. Not like that, though. That ruins the day. That does not help. There. And there's too much. Where there's too much. Want too much. Don't want too much. No likies. Other things that could be done too would be to hey. That might be worth going back and doing. It breaks the whole tile thing. It's like a lot smoother of a floor. Goodness. A lot of work. There's gonna be a funky section of floor over here. No. Rocky, we need you to come over here and That'd have been bad. I was really kind of thing for a time lapse. Stories of my youth. Lightsaber fight a lot. Neighbors from Kmart. Good friend of mine. They're constantly with them. This thing's got so dented and. Oh, okay, that not good.
What is this place?
Plastic wearing, where you can see like the white streaks in the plastic from hitting each other. His girlfriend at the time was a little nonplussed when he had this big mark on his arm. At an angle too. Like, he'd bend his arm and make it quickly. But so many good times. Hanging out, just like, hey. Oh, hit each other with lightsabers.
What is this place?
Okay, we aren't doing anything else. Let's go. Funny with other things. There was once we were in my grandmother's backyard and grabbed a gigantic stick. This thing must have been like 5 feet long. Pretty hard to swing. Really easy to dodge. You know what? Doesn't need to hit more than once.
What is this place?
Hit more than once. It hurts a little more. No, stop. Picks up like that. It's a lot of things going on here with kind of similar effect, leading down. Sign here. Probably dents up this foliage a bit. So down to here. You there, come here. Good. Ooh, more excellent music. Night of the Warlords by Zircon. Zircon, again, they're pulling off some amazing D&D stuff. But you know what? If you're looking for good music, check out Zircon, obviously. But Ivan Durch, D-U-R-C-H. Dude makes some fantastic stuff. I switched up my entire Roll20 library to him. You will not regret it. That is all I have to say on that. You will be so pleased. His stuff's on Ko-fi. It is pay what you want. I recommend paying something. You know, even if you're dropping $10 to get like 40 plus tracks, I'm sure he'll be happy to receive just the praise too. Sing that man's name. The way I put it, you, Kevin MacLeod. I don't regret saying that either. Good. He knows it. It's on Critical Role. A lot of what Mercer uses. Ivan's not known. Ivan's not out there. Ivan's stuff is just as good, and you need to listen to it. Alright. I don't know that I can really share with slide some of these back. To create this denser effect. I need is trees. Create a lot of trees. Nope. I didn't want it to look too samey either. It's gonna look funny when they get over here. Kinda need to build a big cavern wall or something there. Hey, rock? Doing today? Getting overused? Probably. Oracle. Let's fill this all in. It's a cliff face. That's what's over here. It's just supposed to be a mountainy area thing that this cave is under. Just go nuts with rocks for a bit. This way. Oh, sorry about the sneeze. And to get on top. Just as bad. And yeah. I think it's actually scalable by players too. Just allows them to put themselves on top of this nonsense. It's like, excuse me, I don't want them scaling this. It's supposed to be creating illusion here. Variety you can get with a wall. Just a single rock. Guys, it rocks. Just when it comes to the dirt, you can achieve simple rock, humble rock. Humble rock, create varied wall. A varied wall has varied gap. Eating too much. My fingers are not even turning it because you're not seeing so much of it. It's not. This is probably where I'm going to be able to climb it. Yeah. I've seen worse. Come down a bit. creating this is gonna be a pain. Just kind of put some walls to guide them down. Would be too obvious about wood walls. Bannering, Castle Ruins, Casal. I mean, these ruins don't really have like full walls. How's this? Stack that up. Oh, the cobblestones. Out a wall. Quick. This plane. Shift in there. Here. Some fuss. It's here. I can split in. It. The thing we did before. Stuff it in place. Like that. Didn't create this effect, maybe? Easy enough to hide. This will look just fine. Yeah, that'll look great. Things running down into here. Just kind of like get into place. Maybe run this back a little more. But for now, I'm going to have to call it an end. I've put in so much time on this build and it is not even done, but look at it. When it is, I will put it on Tails Bazaar and Tailspin. There it is. But so much for watching. It's been wonderful having you all around here. For listening to my rants, don't forget to hit me up on Twitter at AndrewLysium, AndrewLysium. But follow me at youtube.com/Rilst, RILST, and you can find daily Legacy Wars videos on there. Power Rangers Legacy Wars, funish game on the occasion. You can also check me out here at twitch.tv/AndrewKieser, AndrewKieser. You can find me Tuesdays playing What Friends, and Wednesdays playing something. Maybe do some more map building until I can get some stuff really built out. I would love to do some more in this. If I can get a lot more things built and looking good, start doing this. Until next time then, the world is very lucky to have you.